believe it? It's almost New Year's. Unbelievable. 2024 has been such an interesting year. Goodness. Thank you so much for checking in and watching all of my videos this year. So great. My Alaska vacation videos, that crockpot series videos has done so well this year. I'll have to come up with more crockpot videos because it seems like everyone loves to see those. I hope to bring you lots more videos next year. I have a great one today. I know that many of us do Weight Watchers or WW recipes, and I have one today. We'll have 3 actually, and I think it's so perfect for the New Year's. We love throwing parties, and so I have 3 appetizers. 2 of them actually come in at 0 points, if you could believe it or not. And then the other is only 1. So you could do different variations of these recipes with 0 point, proteins. You could put your own sauces on top to eliminate points or to add points, whatever you like. But they are gorgeous, easy to do. I really hope that you give them a try for your New Year's Eve or your New Year's Day celebration, or anytime you want to throw a party. These are great appetizers to have for your friends and family. You want to see how they go? Let's go.
Okay, let's look at our list of ingredients and the preparation and get started. So for our first appetizer, we're going to do salmon bites. And this is a wonderful 0 point appetizer. It's so dainty and elegant. Your guests are going to love it. So we are going to start with a small fillet. Well, I have a small fillet of salmon, but it depends on what size guests or number of guests you have and the size fillet you have. But I'm going to dice or cut about 8 pieces or so of this salmon. So I am just, again, cutting out dice or bite-sized pieces of this salmon and go along, the regular or natural grain of the fish so that you're not, kind of butchering it up. You want it to look nice on you. And, you want them to be similar in size so that it looks nice together. And you're going to be putting these onto cucumber slices. So you want to ensure that your bites are the size that will go onto those cucumber slices. All right, so go ahead and season your salmon. I'm using salt and pepper, and I also love this 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. It's really good, so I'm going to add that because it has a little bit of everything in it. Onion powder, onion garlic, and also I think it has little bits of rosemary and that kind of thing, so I really love it. So in order not to waste the seasonings that's left over on the cutting board, instead of flipping the salmon over, I'm just going to kind of pick up the seasonings on the back of that salmon against the cutting board because we are using skinless fillets for this preparation, okay? All right, so our pieces are diced and seasoned and uniformed. Looks great. Let's put it aside and move on to our next appetizer, which are turkey meatballs. And so we're going to use the 98% fat-free turkey meatballs, the 0 point turkey, ground turkey that Weight Watchers has for 0 points. We're going to go ahead and use that and make meatballs. Now, meatballs are such a great party appetizer because you could just pass them along. You could leave them on a buffet and just great. So there is our turkey. We're going to use a little bit of salt and pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and that 21 seasoning salute. My cutting board has peppers and onions and minced garlic, and I'm going to add that to my bowl with the turkey and their seasonings. And I also have some button mushrooms and a little extra garlic left on the cutting board there. We'll get into those a little bit later. All right, so just mix up the seasonings, the minced vegetables, and that turkey meat, and we're going to go ahead and mix up 1 egg. All right, so we're going to use that egg a couple of times here. So go ahead and beat 1 egg and leave it to the side in a bowl. And what we're going to do is use only half of that egg for now. So use half of the egg that you beat and into the mixture with the turkey meat. Give it a mix. Mix, mix, mix. And then to bind this turkey, some folks for meatballs will, of course, use breadcrumbs. They will slice regular bread or crackers, but we're not adding any points to this. So we're going to use baking soda. And it's just a half of a teaspoon of baking soda. And this is an interesting thing to do. And it's great for a party because this will allow your meatball to retain its shape. It gives a lovely shape. And also, it just keeps your meatball together. So it gives you that binding effect without adding any calories. And it also gives it a nice little fluffy texture to it. But don't add too much because you'll see that it adds almost like a casing type texture to your meatball. And you just don't want too much of that. All right, I'm adding my mushrooms that I've diced into this mix because why not? The more veggies, the better. And we're still at 0 points for our meatball. That's incredible. A turkey meatball for 0 points. Okay, so we're going to spray our cookie sheet on some parchment paper with oil. And I'm going to put some of that on my hands as well because we're going to go ahead and roll out our meatballs and add them directly to our cookie sheet. And so, I don't want them too big, of course, because, this is just little party hors d'oeuvres. And so the fun part about spraying the oil directly onto your hands is that, again, it just allows you to make the most perfectly rounded ball. And you want to try to be consistent, of course, and keep them at the same size. But, one good thing about making your own appetizers and not running to Costco or wherever to get them is that, they can be a little different, right? A little bit of rustic aesthetic is nice for a party, I say, because it says, hey, I cared enough to make these on my own for you. So, all right, we're going to add those to our cookie sheet. We've preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to just throw those in there. And they baked, because there's not a lot of fat in here, for about 35 minutes, and that's that. I'll show you what else we do to those. Okay, let's get back to those salmon bites that we diced up. So we're going to go to our skillet. We have our fire on to about medium heat, and we want to add a little bit of cooking oil. Get the skillet kind of nice and hot, though, because we're going to add the salmon bites, what would have been skin side up, because I want to add a little bit of golden brown caramelization to the face of our salmon bites, because I think it just adds such a lovely touch when it has some color to the salmon, almost a crust in its appearance. So, don't crowd them because you're not going to be able to get the look that you want. So add them there, give them a bit of a pressing to ensure that that skin is right onto your skillet at maximum heat to allow some caramelization and crusting. All right, and then we're going to give them a flip. You only need to flip them one time, because this cooking preparation isn't going to take long, 6 minutes maybe on one side, and let it finish cooking through, maybe 5 on the other. Turn off the heat and you're done. And you see that pretty brown, golden brown color, and it has that caramelization color that I'm looking for. So nice. All right, let's get to our egg rolls. So here in this bowl, I have cabbage and carrots, and I just grated them in a grater to get that consistency there. So just use my grater. And in the other bowl here, I have about a 1/4 pound of shrimp, and I'm adding the rest of my button mushrooms that was on the cutting board there. Okay, so, and the rest of that garlic that I had on the cutting board. And so what we'll do, we're making an egg roll, a shrimp egg roll. And so we're going to make kind of a paste for our filling. So I'm adding the shrimp and the mushrooms to our food processor, giving that a whirl, because again, we want to create a paste. So your shrimp will, again, with the food processor, kind of be ground. Use the grind setting, and it'll get this pasty consistency. And it just makes it easy to create an egg roll. All right, go ahead and add that paste to the bowl with your carrot and your cabbage. I used, by the way, 1.5 full-size carrots and about I don't know, 1/4 of a head of a small purple cabbage, maybe even a little less than that. All right, and then of course I used a little bit of salt and pepper, and I used that 21 seasoning salute that I really like from Trader Joe's that I mentioned to you. I also used a little bit of ginger, powdered ginger in this recipe, and I used soy sauce. And I always use the reduced sodium soy sauce because, of course, you got to watch your sodium. And then for measurements, I always say that you're the cook. You know what you like. You know how much seasoning you should be adding. Now, I'm using the Chinese 5-spice seasoning. I really do love this stuff, but you have to use it sparingly because it will overpower and it will be the only thing that you taste. So I'm adding only maybe 1/2 teaspoon of that. All right, the rest of our egg that we beat earlier, I'm adding that, and 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch as a binder. All right, so let's work on our chicken meatballs. Back to the chicken meatballs. Sorry, I'm bouncing a little bit back and forth, but if you were in the kitchen and getting ready for your party, you'd kind of be doing the same thing. They look so good. They're golden brown, and we're adding a drop of teriyaki sauce to the top of them. All right, and we're going to plop them back in the oven just to let them get warm. All right, now let's make our egg rolls. So this is an egg roll brand. It's called Dynasty. I got them at Kroger. You could find them everywhere, Dynasty. They're 1 point for 1 sheet. So we're only using 1 sheet today, 1 point. The filling for our egg rolls is 0 points. So we have an egg roll that will be 1 point for us because we're going to make it in the egg fryer without any added fat. All right, I'll show you how we put this together. So lay down your egg roll wrapper in this diamond pattern that you see I have here. Place your filling directly down the middle. I'm using the bowl that I had my egg wash in, or the egg that we beat earlier, and I just added a little water there, and I'm going to go ahead and moisten the edges of that wrapper so that we can seal it. Okay, so 1 fold here, kind of tuck it under the filling. Okay, roll it, and then fold the top down, fold the bottom up. And now look, it looks like an envelope, you see? And then roll that over. I'll roll it into that. And then flip it over, and you see? And there you go. You have your first egg roll. Very simple. So again, here's that diamond pattern. And it's interesting, the egg roll, one side is kind of floured and the other side is not. I honestly don't know if it matters or not. So I did some that were floured and some that were not, both sides. All right, so add our filling right down the middle there. careful not to overfill it, because I did notice that there was, as you cook it, you'll see if you had any bit of a hole, you know, you don't want your filling kind of escaping on you. Okay, moisten the sides so that it seals well. One point for this egg roll. Can you believe it? And watch how they look when they come out. So gorgeous. Fold that one side in, tuck it a bit under, roll it. Pop that one edge down, up, over, and seal it, and you're done. So easy. If I could do it, believe me, you can do it. All right. That's our egg roll. And this filling, by the way, is easily freezable. Just throw it in a good Ziploc bag or a container, a reusable kind of container, and put it in the freezer. And, of course, you can reuse it again, because I didn't use all of it and I don't want it to go to waste. So really good for freezing and reusing again. All right, because I certainly had some left over. All right, last one for me here. There we go. 1 point each. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cook these in the air fryer to ensure that we are not adding any points. So I am adding a little bit of cooking spray to an air fryer sheet. And I'm going to go ahead and load my basket with them. I'm going to add some more cooking spray to the top directly onto the egg rolls, so that they don't have any kind of, over crisped or burnt edges for us. And we're going to keep checking them. There they are. They fit nicely. I have kind of a big basket, so I can get 4 of them in there. And we're going to cook these at 360. It says 25 minutes, but I'm going to keep checking on them. And what I did was I turned them over. And I turned them down to 330, and I just kept checking them. All right, for my salmon bites, I'm going to make a quick little tartar type sauce. And so very easy here. I'm using about a tablespoon or a heaping tablespoon of light sour cream, then a teaspoon of light Duke's mayonnaise, and I'm putting it into a squeezy bottle. And I'm also going to add some dill pickle relish to the squeezy bottle. And I am going to add to this the juice from a jar of capers that I have, because it helps with that kind of briny taste that we want. So the juice of the capers. Of course, you can mash up a few capers if you want, but the problem is, it can clog up your squeezy bottle, and you don't want that. A little salt and pepper. All right. And put your squeezy bottle back on there, and then just shake like mad. And so the briny water allows this to get kind of liquefied on you, right? And so that's why you want to just shake it like, mad, because it allows it to get really liquefied on you. And there you go. All right, so let's continue on and get going with our first appetizer here. Let's finish out our salmon bites. I have an English cucumber here. Nice big rounds. We want to cut those into rounds. And then I also have some fresh dill here. I was able to run by the store today and pick this up. I noticed a lot of things that didn't sell, I guess, over the holidays, like Christmas, were on sale. So I picked up a fresh package of dill for 90 cents. And that was incredible. I was so happy to see that. All right, so I'm going to add my cucumber rounds directly to my serving tray. And you just kind of want to arrange them, however you want to. And I'm going to add a few pieces of dill in between so that it looks nice and festive. After all, it's New Year's Eve. Hey, you got to zhuzh it up a little bit. And isn't dill just so elegant? Remember, I was saying to you earlier that this is such an elegant and dainty appetizer. I just love it. And you see how nicely this salmon just fits on top of this. And again, a 0 point plop in your mouth bite. So good, all that nice little bite of protein. And the little dollop of sauce is, don't worry about the points there. It's nada. All right. And it's such a good little sauce, And of course, if you want more, you can add more if you want. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. But I think it just makes a good, it just makes it look a little bit professional with that little dollop there. And then you want to go back over your pieces and add a little bit of that dill on top because it just elevates the look. And then that's our first 0 point appetizer. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on to our chicken meatballs, another 0 point appetizer. So I have added a bed of lettuce down there, baby lettuce, and I am adding our chicken meatballs. Now I did do a brushing of that sauce, that teriyaki sauce. To me, it's minuscule, so I'm not going to really even count the points. But, if you want, you could add a point to it. You could also find a sugar-free sauce. You could dilute a teriyaki sauce that you have with water or chicken stock to make the points even less. So in my mind, it's minuscule, not even worth counting. It's the holidays anyway. So there you are, appetizer number 2, sticking a toothpick in it. And those are so easy to pick up and go. And remember, this is the appetizer that we added the baking soda to. And so it allows these to really stay in their, kind of that round meatball shape all night really nicely. Okay, here are egg rolls. Grab some water. Look at that. They came out so nice. Look at that color. They're nice and crispy. 1 point for the wrapper. The filling is 0 points. You don't have to use this sauce, but it's always nice to have a dipping sauce for your guest. This is some egg roll, dipping sauce. You could use whatever you have. And look at that. They came out so nice. Who says you can't have delicious food on WW? Fun food. This is party food, finger foods. Look how beautiful and elegant that came out looking. Gosh, I hope you guys give this a try. Now, of course, I'm going to do a little taste test for you so you can see what they look like. Just get a nice and small one. So up close, there we go. I love this one. That added fresh dill, oh my gosh, it's so good. You could really taste that dill. Okay, here's the egg roll. The back of it, it's not as pretty as the top, but we won't tell. Okay, let's cut into it. You see our filling. Looks good. For only one wrapper, some people double wrap, but one was just fine. Of course, I'm going to use the dip. And it was good. I really liked it. you know? I mean, it's nothing to me, it was just like something you get when you're out. I'll definitely be making this again. And I can double dip because, hey, I live here. So that one was a winner. This whole tray was a winner. Let's face it. Okay, so here's that chicken meatball. And so I want you to see what I mean by see that it's just, nice and airy. That baking soda has just allowed it to really form, and there's that pepper. You can see that red pepper. Allowed it to keep its shape, meat in its tubular form. As Anthony Bourdain used to say, I love it. And there's our chicken meatball. So you guys, you got to give it a try. I hope you do. Happy New Year. Hey, what do you think? This is a lovely apron that a member of our church made for me. I really love it. So I want to give her shout out.
Well, what did you think about those appetizers? So easy, right? And unbelievable, the point value. I love how dainty and elegant those salmon bites were. And you could do shrimp, you could do so many things. Even something like a scallop would be wonderful for that recipe. And the egg roll, I can't wait to do that one again either. That one was so great. I hope that you give those a try. And more than that, I pray that your 2025 is wonderful and everything that you want it to be, that you are safe and healthy, and that you have a lot of fun and a lot of good food. All right, thanks for tuning in. Again, I will bring you lots of videos in 2025, and Happy New Year. Take care, guys. Bye. Nothing on my teeth.